Aloha and welcome back. So we got DEMINEM talking about Dem voters have mass awakening and abandoned centrism. The Kulinski show, the real Dem Shady. So let's see what he's going to talk about. Are they abandoning centrism? Are they going to the Green Party, the DSA? Are they leaving the centrist Democratic Party? Or, this is the voters. So let's see, the voters might try to change a bit, but is the party going to change? We'll see.
Guys, so you want to talk about welcome news. Boy, oh boy, do I have some for you here.
Welcome
Crystal
news.
comes out and says the following. Centrists have caused a profound shift among the base of the Democratic Party through their cowardice in the face of Trump's authoritarianism. At the end of January, Gallup found a plurality of Democrats wanted the party to be more moderate. A new poll finds that the majority now want the party to be more progressive.
Yeah, that was true in 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020. The bases wanted them to be more progressive this entire time, probably even before 2008. Most people want progressiveness because we don't want to be left behind. So that's nothing new. But are they going to stay with the centrist Democratic Party, the center-right Democratic Party? Are they going to go to where progressivism can happen?
Okay, guys, as you're about to see here, as I'm going to show you, this is not subtle. This is like a sea change. Okay, so let's start with this one here. Was Gallup or Pew? So they did a poll. Partisan preferences for the ideological direction of their parties, okay? So look at it, 2025 is all that matters for the purposes of this conversation, so just look at 2025. So basically, like right after Trump won, they asked this question, and the results were 29% of Democratic voters said Democrats need to become more liberal. Or what they mean by that is more to the left, right? They mean more leftist. They conflate liberal and leftist, even though those are different things. We don't need to get into that, but you get the point. They're saying we want you to be more to the left, 29%. 22% say Democrats should stay the same. And then 45%, a strong plurality, almost a majority, says Democrats need to be more moderate. So in other words, in the wake of Trump winning, a lot of Democratic voters looked around and they said, all right, look, he won. What are you going to do? So you got to work with him. You got to do bipartisanship and negotiation and diplomacy and just try to get some W's where you can, but like keep the country functioning, just work with him.
Get some Obamacare for that ass.
Right? Then people saw how fucking immensely unhinged and out of his mind Trump is in the second term. And the party did an immediate U-turn. Look at what happened with the base. Ready? These are Democratic voters we're talking about here. Survey USA poll. If you had to choose, would you rather see the Democratic Party become more progressive, stay the same, or become more moderate? Now the numbers are more progressive, 50%.
But is the Democratic Party going to become more progressive? And then, if you really want the Democratic Party to be more progressive and more for the people, you got to join the Democratic Party and run within the Democratic Party. And then like Cori Bush get kicked out, or like AOC, succumb to the Democratic Party and become baby bear to mama bear. So it's not going to work. But even if it were to work, you can't just want. You got to join the party. You got to do something. It takes the people to make a change. The corporations have control of the Democrats and the Republicans, and they don't want change. They're going to keep their money right where it is and keep things the same. If you actually want change, you got to get up, get out, and do something.
Stay the same, 24%. More moderate, plummeted to 18%. And not sure is only 8%. So let's recap. Right after Trump's win, you asked Democratic voters, should the party be more progressive or more moderate? 29% say more progressive. 45% say more moderate. Today, you ask them, 50% say more progressive. Only 18%.
So Green Party, guys, there's a party that's more progressive, that'll do things that people want. It's already there. It has its platform. All we need is you. We just need more people in it.
Percent say more moderate. So in other words,
it's hard to put into words the horrors that we've witnessed every day during our time
Holy
here.
moly, cancel.
Entire families
Sorry.
coming.
I hit the wrong button on that one. My bad, guys.
the Democratic base is finally waking up. They have become...
Are they waking up? Or are they just turning over? Are they leaving the party and going to a progressive party that will accept the base? Or are they just gonna stay there, ruffle some feathers, and then be tamed by the establishment again?
Become radicalized by looking at the extremism of the Trump regime. all you have to do is follow the news a little bit, and you find out very quick. Wait, what? He's talking about invading Greenland and stealing. Wait, what? He's talking about invading Panama and stealing Panama. Wait, he's talking about the U.S. owning Gaza and finishing the genocide and the ethnic cleansing and building casinos and hotels on the beach. He's threatening Canada. He wants them to be the 51st state, and then when they say no, he says we're going to steal some of their land and take away their water rights. What? He wants to do war with Iran at the behest of Israel? What? He signed an executive order to make it so that he can do war with Mexico on a whim without Congress?
So, like Obama or any Democrat or any other Republican, he's a war hawk. He wants to destroy the rest of the world who's not American, and it doesn't matter who they are or where they are. It's fairly par for the course with the United States. Yeah.
Declared the drug cartels terrorist organizations to do airstrikes. What? He's rounding up innocent people with no criminal record and shipping them to a death camp, alleged death camp in El Salvador? What? He's launching a trade war and pissing off our allies and devaluing the U.S. dollar, and it's going to lead to a massive effective tax on the bottom 95% of Americans, and a lot of people are going to lose their jobs because the market is he's doing what? What? And so Democratic voters looked around and they go, oh, okay, this is not what I expected from Trump. This is a billionaire robber baron coup, and it's a fascist takeover. I'm against those things.
You can't have a fascist takeover of a country that's already fascist. We're already ran by the businesses and the corporations. Joe Biden talked about wanting to prostitute himself when he was in his 30s. They said he wasn't old enough, get more experience or whatever, and then he did prostitute himself when he got old enough. Kamala Harris putting people in jail for their kids' truancy while she's smoking weed, putting people in jail for smoking weed. The Democrats are as fascist, as corporate bot, as the Republicans, if not more. They just say it nicer.
You need to fucking fight. You need to fight.
This guy.
And so
Fight for the Democrats so they can step on your throat instead. You can have a rainbow on your bomb. You can have a we love gay people rainbow while we destroy other countries, and now we feel better. Idiot.
Now you see somebody like Gavin Newsom, who launched a podcast and started giving a hot stone massage to sloppy Steve Bannon and Charlie Kirk and Michael Savage and all these right-wingers. He went straight down in the estimation of Democratic voters. You see somebody like AOC, who's doing an anti-oligarchy tour with Bernie Sanders. She shut up like a rock.
As she lies to you and sheep herds you into the Democratic Party, who does not want you, does not want your thoughts and your morals or your actions. They just want your vote and tell you to get away from here after that.
Rocket to being one of the front runners for the 2028 Democratic nomination. The base is finally waking.
The DNC doesn't have to, even if you guys vote for her, they don't have to put her in. They're going to put in whatever centrist they want. And she's pretty centrist anyway. She's become Baby Bear now. So, I mean, she might be the perfect one anyway for them to sheep herd y'all, get y'all back in the party, and Kyle Kulinski be stroking her feet and loving on her while she's not giving us health care, raising the minimum wage, and just telling us to just be okay with whatever she does. And at least they're not Donald Trump and we're not fascists.
They're finally waking up. They're realizing, holy shit, you got to fight them on everything.
This guy.
How are they wrong about literally everything?
About.
In the first term,
it's so funny how he talks about himself. How are they literally wrong about everything? Let me pause this. Got it back.
Could point to here and there. Hey, they did the First Step Act. That's great. That's a step towards criminal justice reform, right? Great. Hey, he pardoned Alice Johnson, this sweet grandmotherly lady who was locked up, who shouldn't have been locked up. We love that. Oh, look, he banned bump stocks after a fucking mass shooting. Wonderful. There were these little things you could point to in the first term to go, look, he's bad, but it's not world ending. Now people are looking and going, oh my God, this is like the end of the country as we know it. Ripping up the Constitution, no more due process, no hearings, going full fascist. And so now everybody's finally coming to terms with the nature of reality, that this is unacceptable, this is untenable, this cannot continue. You need resistance times 1,000. You need to fight them on every front. You need to not...
Resistance times 1,000 is not going to the Democratic Party and just having Mr. Hope and Change Obama do nothing, having Bernie Sanders get kicked out, our movement getting kicked out, and then putting in Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden, that is not going to do anything. That
Stop. And we need a hero on our side to not meet them halfway and concede on areas where they shouldn't.
right. So stay in the Democratic Party, vote blue no matter who, and you'll get your hero. That's not gonna work at all. Dem Shady over here is lying to you.
Right? And that's the problem with the Democrats for so long, is that they were the centrists, they were the neoliberals. I'll meet you halfway. I'm above the fray. I'm not left or right. I'm above it all, right? Now people are going, no, 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 no. We want somebody on the left. We want somebody. The right says, blame trans people and immigrants for all your...
Somebody on the left. AOC told you the Democratic Party is a center conservative party. She said there's no left-wing party in America, but she was speaking of the Democrats and Republicans, and neither of them are left. The Green Party is a left-wing party. If you are looking for something on the left, you're going Green Party, DSA, PSL. I'm sure there's some other ones, but what we need to do is get all those parties together under the Green Party umbrella, because they just have the most access. And then I guess if the Green Party doesn't have access in certain states, go under DSA, PSL, or independent. But there's certain reasons to do other things, but we need to come together. The corporations have their two big parties, and they're going to keep on winning if we don't do something.
Your problems, and let's go to a war against these people. That's the right-wing narrative. What does the left say? Bernie and AOC are leading the way, telling you, we're on an anti-oligarchy tour. The real problem in this country are the robber barons and the billionaires. They've bought the government, rigged it in their favor, looting the treasury, and screwing over the working class. You have no fucking... You have no health care. Your health care sucks. Okay, who...
And Obama had a supermajority, which Biden was in during COVID. He had the national emergency that he could have passed universal health care. Your Democrats did nothing. AOC didn't try to help push for the vote for health care, and you had her back not pushing for it. You don't care. As soon as the Democrats come in, it's like, oh, we did it. Just let them do whatever they want and don't worry about it. And then when the Republicans get in, you're like, oh, we gotta fight. You're such a joke, dude.
Who do you blame for that? Well, blame the health insurance companies. The for-profit
No,
health
the
insurance
Democrats. The Democrats had power. Why would you blame the capitalists for doing capitalist stuff? They're going to go out there and make money. Like Donald Trump said when he was talking to Hillary Clinton, you didn't change the tax code because your friends use the tax cuts too. They do it. The Democrats are the same as the Republicans. They're not going to change.
You have no health care. Your health care sucks. Okay, who do you blame for that? Well, blame
Obama because he wrote Obamacare, which was Romneycare, which means he didn't really write Obamacare. He just took Romneycare and wrote Obamacare on it, which he obviously not Obamacare. But you know what I'm saying? He wrote ACA, what is it? American Care Act, whatever it is, the American Health Care Act or whatever it is, Obamacare. That's why we have bad health insurance, and he's going to tell you to blame the capitalists that took advantage of it. Like Trump took advantage of the tax system, like Hillary Clinton's people took advantage of the tax system. If you have a system there to be taken advantage of, people are going to take advantage of it. Make a system that works. The Democrats don't want to do that. They want a system that the rich people can take advantage of.
The health insurance companies. The for-profit health insurance companies, who are basically a parasitic mafia middleman who are getting in between you and your doctor.
Why?
Right?
Why are they allowed to do that? Who didn't pass universal health care when they had a supermajority? Was it one Barack Obama? Something like that.
Blame the oligarchs.
Blame the Democrats who had the ability. Joe Biden during COVID had the national emergency to be able to pass universal health care. Blame the people that had the power and the ability to do it that did not. Why are you going to blame the rich people or the capitalists that are going to use the system the way they're supposed to use the system in a way for them to make money? At the point of the system is make the most money that you can. They're doing the right thing. They're doing what they're supposed to do. At the point of being a politician is to work for the people and do the best thing for the people. The Democrats aren't doing that. But both our parties work for the system. They work for capitalists. They work for corporations. So yeah, they're not working for us. So they're doing what they're supposed to do. If you want somebody to work for the people, you got to go to a place that says they're working for the people, not a place that says they're working for the corporations. They tell you what they're doing. You just don't listen.
Blame the billionaires, blame the multinational corporations. So the left-wing answer to blame the trans...
But that's why we call him Dem Shady, right? He's just shady. This is totally shady. Yes, you can blame the corporations all you want, but that ain't going to do nothing. The people that have the ability to change it, to change laws, aren't doing it when we get them in. So we need to go ahead and get the people in who say they're for universal health care, who say they're for a higher minimum wage. And this is the Green Party.
People and blame the immigrants. That's what MAGA says. The left-wing answer is, the problem is the billionaires. The problem is the corrupt.
But then he's going to tell you to vote for the right-wing Democrats. That's why we call him Dem Shady.
Corruption. And we're going to fucking rein them in. We're going to tax their asses. We're going to give everybody health care. We're going to make sure you have free college.
But see, he's not talking about the Green Party. Again, that's why we call him Dem Shady. Like, he's going to tell you to go to the Democratic Party. We're going to do none of this.
And your pay is good and your benefits are good. We're going to do 12 weeks paid family leave and 12 weeks paid sick.
Why didn't he? Joe Biden was in. Joe Biden had the opportunity to do this. Barack Obama, Hope and Change, had the opportunity to do this. Bill Clinton passed NAFTA, had the opportunity to do a lot. Democrats have had their opportunity multiple times and shown us who they are.
Sick leave. They woke up and they're finally realizing, oh, we need an answer for this.
And he's trying to put
we
you right
don't
back to bed.
Want to do some bullshit, meet them halfway, agree on their terms, give in to their framework. No. It's over. It's done. No. So what you're seeing now on the Democratic side,
make sure you vote blue no matter what.
To what you saw during the Tea Party movement in 2010 after Obama won.
No.
Where you had this extreme grassroots awakening on the right. Some of it was AstroTurf, by the way, with big money from the Koch brothers and people like that.
Oh, but my goodness.
Eventually you had this overwhelmingly large number.
You got this dude, AstroTurfing, taking left-wingers into the Democratic Party, taking them into the center-right party. That's exactly what you just said. You had big money coming in. You got big YouTube. You people, you center-right people taking all these left-wing people trying to herd them into the Democratic Party. You, the Humanist Report, your girl Crystal Ball, all y'all talking about you're left or progressive. Vote blue no matter who. That's nonsense. That's a lie. You're as far right as any Republican when you say vote blue no matter who.
Of Republicans who were like, we want the exact opposite of everything this guy wants. Right? And now, Democrats didn't start out saying that right after Trump won, but now they're like, oh, we got it. And so, this is a different moment. And it's reflected, too, if you go watch MSNBC programming, non-Morning Joe MSNBC programming, they start sounding like me.
Ooh. He started sounding like them, and I've been saying that for about a year or two. Especially since Kamala took over for Joe Biden. Dem Shady here has been sounding like MSNBC, all pro-Democrat, Dem this, Dem that, and then he can proudly say that they sound like him now, but really he's changed. It's kind of sickening to me. Like, when I first found him, I watched this dude, I loved this dude for years, and now he's a joke. You're just a Democratic joke. You're Joe Biden's puppet. You're Kamala Harris's puppet. You just vote blue no matter who, no matter what, because Orange Man bad. When Orange Man ain't that bad, he's no different than a George Bush, than a 90s Joe Biden. Doesn't care about why you're anywhere. He's gonna protect his family and put you in jail. It's just nuts.
And they never did before, right? And so this is a very, very welcome change, man. This is a very, very welcome change. And it's been a long time coming. But we're
all that hope and change talk is just all that talk again. This is so welcome change. We got Barack Obama back. We got Bernie Sanders back. We got all these big people. We're just going to have some fun. We're going to have a big old hoedown.
Finally fucking here. And the question is, what are we going to do about it?
And the answer is, Democratic Party and nothing.
We're not going to stop until it's our time. If Bernie Sanders...
If you were serious, if you're not going to stop until it's our time, you would be feeling the Green Party. You have a channel. You have over 1 million followers. You have a lady that has a channel that has over 1 million followers. You have access to Jimmy Dore. You can swallow the hatchet. He has access to over 1 million followers. You have access to all these YouTube people, the Rational National, Humanist Report. Pretty much anybody on YouTube, I would assume you have access to. You could push the Green Party and make it big, fast, right now and in a hurry, especially now that there's all this momentum. But you don't. You sheep herd to the Democratic Party. You are not left. You are a centrist. You are Big Seltzer all day, every day.
Was 10 or 20 years younger, this election would be, the 2028 election, it would be too big to rig, right? We all fear that they're going to get rid of free and fair elections, and they're trying their best to do it. But if it was Bernie in 2028, it's over. It would have been too big to rig. It would have been a colossal landslide, the likes of which we haven't seen in modern American history.
So basically, Bernie's platform was the Green Party platform. So he's saying that we had a Green Party president run in the 2028 election, that it would be too big to fail because they would have the same exact platform as Bernie Sanders and everybody would just love it and follow it. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to promote the Green Party. You're not going to promote that platform, so nobody will see it. So then it's not too big to rig because you got that platform, but it's rigged for the corporate party that you're pushing, the Democrats and the Republicans.
History. But maybe it's Tim Walz, maybe it's AOC, maybe it's somebody like Jon Stewart, but we are on track for something like that, and we can't stop. We can't stop. We need more bodies in the streets, more protests, more people waking up, and I've never been more proud of the Democratic base in my life than I am right this second.
Holy moly. Understand, you cannot fight the oligarchy without fighting the duopoly. You must break the duopoly and get rid of them. Get rid of both corporate parties if you want to fight the oligarchy. How can you have a corporate party ruling you and say, oh, we got rid of the oligarchy? Obama ruled over oligarchy, as did Joe Biden, as does Donald Trump, as has every president since the beginning. Our plantations were little, what do you call it, dictatorships, oligarchies, like kingdoms, serfdoms, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same. The right just changes the name and stuff, turn it to capitalism after a while. Feudalism, it's all the same. You have a few ruling the many, and the many working hard and breaking their backs for the few. But you got people like this pushing right-wing propaganda for the Democrats, which is what's been done since the Jones plantation and much, much before that, where they push the other alternative, which is not the other alternative. It's just the sister or the brother looking slightly different, doing pretty much the same stuff. We got to get rid of that. If you're not going green, libertarian, DSA, or something else, you're voting for the oligarchy. If you're voting for Democrat or Republican,
everybody at the same time came to their senses and said, "Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is," and so now it's time to act accordingly.
Ooh, that means Green Party, act accordingly. What's he going to tell you to do? Vote blue no matter who. Vote for the oligarchy no matter what. So is that acting accordingly? He's lying to you guys.
All right, guys.
Alright guys, that's the real Dem Shady here. DEMINEM will lie to you. Kulinski show, Crystal Ball, she's lying to you. They're telling you that the Democrats are something different, that they're better, that they're not part of the oligarchy when they are. They know it. They've been doing this far too long. So don't let people like this lie to you. Come to the Green Party, go to DSA, go to the Libertarian Party, go listen to people, speak to people who are going to tell you the truth. This guy is straight up lying to you, and if you know anything about politics, you know it. The Green Party, the Green Party is different. They're not the Republicans or the Democrats. The Republicans and Democrats are corporate parties. He knows this, and he's telling you there's something different. So that's why you need to, instead of listening to him, get your news from across the spectrum. So that way you'll be well informed instead of propagated.